Hi everyone, this is Aaron for Zollotech. We're going to take a look at the Lifeproof free case. This is for the iPhone 5 and 5S, and it's compatible with Touch ID. Comes in at $79.99. Let's open it up and take a look at what we have here. And then we'll test this out. We'll water test it and see how it holds up. So we'll open it up like this. And I think that's everything. This is the case itself. Looks like your typical Lifeproof case, but right here it says works with Touch ID. So we'll look at that in a moment. Inside the case, we get a few different things. We've got a program Touch ID per manufacturer instructions before installing the case. So I've already done that. And then here is the owner's manual. And what you do with this is it's going to tell me to water test it and how to keep it. So we'll do all of that in a little bit. But generally what you do is you take the phone case and then you look at the seal around the outside edge, make sure it's good. And then what you do is you put it in the water for about 30 minutes. And once you take it out, you need to make sure that the inside of the case is dry. We also get a microfiber cloth with it, and then we've got a headphone adapter too that we'll need for the depth of the case. And we'll look at all that once we have the case in place. So this is the case itself. Let's see what they've done under here where the Touch ID goes, or the home button. They've got a little sticker here that says pull, and looks like it's just a thinner version of the home button. You can kind of see that the way the light glares off it. It kind of has a bubble there, so that's kind of neat. And I'm not sure what it's made out of, but it should be durable. This is the free case, so that means it's got a forward or a front-facing cover. The other case they make is not available yet for the 5S. So we're going to test this in the water, and let's see how it holds up. I've tested all the seals, everything appeared to be good, so we'll place it in the water just like this. We'll put a coffee cup on top of it or something to hold it down, and we'll come back in 30 minutes to make sure the case didn't leak at all. I've taken the case out of the water, dried it off a little bit. We'll finish drying it off, and then what we need to do is look inside for any signs of water. So we pop this bottom open here, and we need to pop the back off. Now you can do this with a quarter or just pull hard here. And inside, it looks pretty good. One is a little speck that just flicked there when I opened it up. The bottom is a little wet right here on the seal, but nothing got into the case, so it means we're good to go as far as putting our iPhone in it. So just like the other iPhone cases from Lifeproof, they're all completely sealed, and you have a sealed port on the bottom for your headphone adapter. And before we place the iPhone in, we need to take this out. And they've left a strap here. It's one improvement they made last year on their iPhone cases so that you don't lose this little piece. They used to include an extra one, and now you just have this strap here so you don't lose it. Here I have the iPhone 5S, and we'll test the Touch ID. We'll hold it here, it should unlock, and it unlocks. If I lock it again and use a finger I haven't programmed, it shouldn't work and says try again. So we're going to test that once we get it in this case. So we'll place it in. There's not really room for screen protectors or anything like that, so we'll just slide it into the case here, and then we take the back and start clipping around the edge. And there you can see it's sealed. The seals are in place. Oop. You can see it's sealed, the seals are in place, and everything is nice and tight along the edges. We'll put the headphone jack back in, but before we do that, you can see we have this headphone adapter, and it just simply slides in and then screws and seals. So you can use waterproof headphones they offer on their website and listen to music in water. If you wanted to even, I guess, go surfing with it, you could. We'll unscrew it here, put this back in place. That holds it nice and tight. And then we'll lock down the lightning adapter. Now this won't work with certain docks because it is pretty tight in here. So we'll lock it. We have the iPhone 5S in the case, and you can see the front screen is protected and covered. We have access to our forward-facing camera, and it's got holes for different sensors that are there. On the bottom, we have our Touch ID. On the side, we have volume up and down, and the buttons seem to work well. We have the vibrate switch here that works fine. And then on the top, we have access to our sleep wake button. And then on the back, we can see our Apple logo, our camera, and our flash. And then on the bottom, you've got access to your headphone jack, like I said before, and your lightning connector. You also have your speakers and microphone as well. Let's try Touch ID and see how it works. So we'll put our thumb here, and it unlocks. We'll lock it again. We'll use a finger I haven't programmed. And you can see it says try again. We'll use a finger I have programmed, and it unlocks. So it works great. The sensitivity of the front screen seems okay, but you do have a little bit of a press there. You don't really have to push down, but you can feel there's a little bit of thickness there. Let's now test this in the water and see how well it holds up. The phone is on. We'll toss it into the water, and it should hold up just fine. The screen won't work underwater, and that's because your fingers use capacitive touch with this type of screen, and the water kind of throws that off. So you can't use the screen, you can't use Touch ID underwater, but you can use the buttons on the side to take a picture if you're in the camera. So we'll turn it off. You can see it turns on fine, no problems there. You will have to dry this off before you're able to use it again. Everything seems to work fine. We'll drop it into the water. No problems there. It takes a little bit of an impact and keeps working. Let's see if any water got into the case whatsoever. After the water test, everything appears to be okay. Let's check for water inside. We'll unscrew our little port here and then pull the case off. So you can see there's a little bit of water that splashed from this surround here, and everything appears to be okay. Let's pop the phone out, and you can see it seems to be working just fine. No problems here, no water. You can see I actually had a skin on it. It is a little rippled, but that's because it doesn't really fit that well, but it will fit with the skin if that's something you want to put on your phone. No problems there. And this is a really nice thin case that seems to withstand impacts quite well. After using the Lifeproof case a little bit, using it for phone calls and music, the phone calls actually sounded pretty good. Nobody complained of having a muffled voice or not being able to hear me. I could hear them fine both on and off speakerphone. I tried them both ways. As far as music goes, you'll probably be a little bit disappointed with the sound that's coming out of here. It's not as crisp and clear as you would hope, but it is acceptable. Occasionally the case will rattle a little bit depending on the notes that are being hit, and you actually can see this little window here vibrate a little bit, which is kind of interesting the way it reverberates through the case. But other than that, I really have no complaints. The screen seems to be sensitive, it's well protected, and the case is completely waterproof. Initially, I was concerned about the covering over the flash, creating kind of a bad picture when it uses the flash, but I actually found that not to be the case. So that's really good news for anyone that's wanting to use this case and take some quality photos even while using the flash. That's the Lifeproof free case. You can get it on their website. I'll leave a link in the description below, and you can also get it in a lot of different stores probably in your area. Let me know what you think about this case in the comments below, and if you have any questions, please let me know as well, and I'll try and answer all of those that I can. If you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe. As always, this is Aaron. I'll see you next time.